Overgrowth by Slaidey Valheim. There was a woman down my road with a garden, not a house. I've seen old pictures of the lot with a brick 2-story building on a barren dead grass lawn, but the one I've always known, there's been vines so thick it's hard to tell there's a building underneath. When I watched the woman go inside, there was no door. She simply walked into the leaves until she was gone. Neighbors complained, but there was nothing they could do. I heard the woman plea with people that there was nothing she could do either. Things grew around her, and she couldn't make them stop. I thought she had a beautiful curse. Its blessing was life, and its inconvenience was the irritation of municipal sidewalk trimmers that needed to curb its overgrowth before it flowed into the streets. As a child, I high-fived wayward stems peeking over her fence as I walked home from school. In my mind, I pictured the property as wild, like a jungle. But there was never anything exciting or exotic to see aside from rampant plants and their keeper. I always used to wave at her when she was out whispering to the flowers. Used to. I snuck onto the property once and huddled behind a bush in hopes of hearing her magic words. I was desperate to know what her secret was and whether I could harness it myself for a science project. I thought the occasion she waved back to me, the glint in her eye, was from joy. I was wrong. I sat in that thicket, stiff with fear for 3 hours, while I listened to her, begging the plants to die. The tears in her eyes were of misunderstanding and futility. A single branch in the bush I was hiding in curled and wilted as she chanted, then unfurled with twice as many thorns when she'd conceded and went back inside. I watered her garden with my urine and ran home as fast as I could. I grew scared of the woman and her vine nest. I adopted walking around the block to make sure I never passed them again. I missed the days when it was just one house, one lot, one woman. They say she waded into the tangled construct in which she lived and never came out. As I now vigilantly fight foliage from creeping in my windows and knocking down the doors, I can't imagine she vanished so peacefully. It was only a matter of time until the community maintenance workers couldn't keep up. Some neighbors got fed up and left, sick of pulling weeds from their doorstep every morning. Some stopped caring to keep their property in check. Those are the neighbors I haven't heard from in months. The plants must have got them, like they're trying to get me. I spend my days cutting killer hedges and nights dreaming of people drained by roots. I haven't dared enter the other houses, those of my mysteriously absent neighbors, but somehow I dream of what they've become. I fear of what I will become. The roots creep from the corners of the room, under the bed, from the pillow you're lying your head on, and go for your throat. They strangle any words you could use to banish them, keep them away and stunted. Plants need nourishment, after all. Our silence and our bodies are more than enough. I hardly notice now, the muttering constantly falling from my lips. You are not pretty, you are not natural, you should wilt, 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 and die. I wouldn't be surprised if I talk these things in my sleep, but I don't want to take any chances. Every night I play a tape on repeat. It's a recording I made of all the chants I can remember the woman saying while I hid in that bush. A lullaby to keep me safe at night. I will your soil infertile. I will your existence from green to brown. I will pluck every new bud with eager fingers until you find this battle as fruitless as I do. I realize how naive I'd been. Curses are not beautiful, and gardens are not homes. I plan to prune my way down the old road that's now the wild, violent jungle of my childhood imaginations. I will find that woman's bones, and I will help her like I should have as a child. To stop the garden growing before it buries us all in it.